one day, whether it's my ideas or somebody else's, invisibility and virtual holodeck like environments will one day be a reality. And as a certain sort of a paradox that goes on there, an invisible object you'd be able to touch, like, say, this, my idea of a visible object. Um, Light would go through these wires, go through this way, go through this way, um, go through this way, and so that's these. This is my idea of a basic light interface system. That's what I call it. And these are the exaggerated 3D picture elements on a cross section of this sphere right here, with a make believe breakaway view of the interface inside, which is the same thing as this interface. And on the outside, light would travel through it at regular intervals, making it appear invisible. And you could hide anything you wanted to in between the outer shell and the inner light interface. But as a byproduct of invisibility, you'd be producing a holodeck inside. That's what the interface is all about. It would be a holodeck. And um, there's different forms of holography. There's probably the laser holography that you're familiar with, or up close, there's probably the hologram scratchy surface. There's this right here, but it's not really a hologram. Although it's called a hologram fan, it's it still captures what a hologram is. It appears to have form, three-dimensional form in space, but it's not actually there. It's an image floating in space. The kind of holograms that I'm talking about, and this is the peculiarity between an invisible object that you can touch and a hologram, the kind that I'm talking about, that you can only see. You can see, but you can't touch it. Like this frog inside this hologram dish. You can see him, but you can't touch him. But for an invisible object, if this were an invisible object, it can't be seen, but you can certainly touch the surface of an invisible object. And I think that that's sort of that might hold close to total invisibility, material and virtual invisibility. And with this frog in this parabolic dish, I was wanting to bring you to something else here. And this is based on the previous image, and it's a holodeck, or it's a portal. I call it a televisual portal. Inside is a holodeck, and outside is a physical but invisible surface of the portal. And that orange lady you see inside there is much like the frog that you see in this dish. She's not actually in the place where she appears to be, and it's all through telepresence. It's through telepresence. She's in another television portal's holodeck somewhere else. They meet each other through this um, schematic of telepresence between dual televisual telepresence between these different worlds of the outside world to begin with, the cloaking interface, the holodeck, the real holodeck, and the secondary holodeck. And these are mirrorables between the real world outside, the cloaking interface, virtual world. The real holodeck is eliminated from the outside through the cloaking interface, and then those images are the physical self, the physical objects, and the virtual background is sent to the virtual holodeck, where it's transmitted to the other portals, real holodeck, and the same thing is done over again. And this is an image of, I guess you call them Bob and Alice. Bob is the great person in one portal holodeck, and Alice is virtual in the orange. And on the right side is Alice, who's real, and Bob, who's virtual, in their own corresponding televisual portals. And only one person can go into a holodeck per portal, meaning only one person can inhabit a portal by itself, because in the portal holodeck, because any other object or person in there would destroy the 3D effect. And so only one person to a holodeck. That's something listed on here on Star Trek. But and this is all based on this model of an invisible exterior, 3D picture elements, and its holographic interior, a holodeck. And if you consider this, it's like the reality of the frog. We live in a bulk reality of the holographic universe, if it is indeed holographic. But what separates us from the rest of the multiverse is our invisible boundary, another boundary that works with the holographic boundary to produce not only the bulk, but to conceal us from the other universes out in the multiverse. Whether you call it distance or a field surrounding it or a boundary, it's an invisible extra layer between our universe and the multiverse beyond. And that's meant to conceal, keep different realities from inhabiting each other. But I believe that it points to a portal-like property of the universe itself. A portal like a type of makeup, because if you have an invisible principle working alongside a holographic, inverse holographic principle, it's two sides of the same coin. And so a universe would exploit both of those, invisibility and holography, to have a portal-like essence to it. So if you ask me, our universe is more like a portal than a black hole. It just seems more accurate to call it that, if you include the invisible aspect with the holographic principle. An invisible principle that works to conceal universes from each other in the vast multiverse beyond our cosmic horizon, which is an invisible horizon. And this is the holographic boundary, and that's the holographic bulk. And this seems like more of a better model of a portal-friendly type of reality. Well, I think I've said enough. Thanks a lot.